Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Since Emmanuel is now 5 months, I thought it would be a good time to film this because I've had a few months to use the things that I got and reflect on whether or not I think it's useful. Say hi, Emmanuel. This is Emmanuel. He's 5 months today. Say hi. Check out his jumper. It says, "My mummy gives the best kisses." Say hi. Alright, so I know the title of this video is products I regret buying, but to be honest, not all of it is a regret. It's more so I did waste my money, but I also don't regret it. Hopefully this video is useful for you. If you are starting to shop for your little one, you can just take into consideration what I've learned, and obviously this is from my experience. Your experience could be very different. So I'm going to put Emmanuel down on his swing so you might hear him and hopefully he will behave. Okay, so the first item I want to mention is a bit controversial, and it is the Boppy. So I obviously wanted to breastfeed, so I thought I would definitely need a breastfeeding pillow. And in reality, I have hardly used this, especially for breastfeeding. I just found that it was easier just to hold him while I nurse. I have used it a handful of times while breastfeeding in bed, but other than that, we kind of just use it here and there for just laying him there while we talk to him. We haven't actually really used it that much for breastfeeding purposes. So obviously you're not going to know that until you start breastfeeding what your preference is going to be. But maybe if you have the option to borrow the Boppy from a friend or something before you go out and purchase it, that might be a good idea. Otherwise, I didn't really use mine that much. Now, the next thing I want to mention is size 1 shoes. So you will go out and see so many cute little shoes, and I knew that I wasn't really going to put my baby in shoes all that often, but I did go out and buy them anyway because, you know, it's your right to be excited. It's your right to go out and buy whatever you want, but just keep in mind that you might not really put your baby in shoes when they're really little because it really serves no purpose and they're actually more comfortable without wearing the shoes. But maybe if you do go out and buy shoes anyway, avoid shoes that are easy to kick off. So these ones, for example, are super cute, but because they don't go up that high on the ankle, he can kick them off in 1 second. Like, they don't stay on at all, not even for a photo, but they're super cute. Now, going on with the same theme is summer clothes. Now, we had a summer baby. Emmanuel was born in December, which is the very start of summer here in Australia. And so we had heaps of summer clothes for him. But just keep in mind that if you also are going to have a summer baby, that you might not actually put them in, you know, lots of singlets and t-shirts and stuff when you're at home, because when you're at home, you might actually have the aircon on and the cooling on, and it might not actually be that hot inside the house. And when they're really, really little, when they're a newborn, you're probably not going to be going out too much anyway. So you probably don't need too many summer clothes. Now, the next thing I regret buying is lots and lots of muslin cloths. Now, they're really cute and they're really nice and soft, but we've hardly ever used them because we didn't actually end up swaddling Emmanuel the traditional way because he would just get out of it very quickly, and we ended up using ergo pouch sleeping bags or swaddles, and they worked much better for us. So then these sort of became redundant. The only thing that we've used it for is to cover the pram if it's a bit too sunny, or when we bring him to his maternal child health appointments. But other than that, we really do not use these. Now, what you will need is lots and lots of undergarments. So that's singlets, long sleeves or short sleeves, depending on when your baby is born. You will go through lots of those, but make sure you get stretchy ones. So you will need lots of undergarments, but just make sure that you get ones that are really stretchy, that can go over baby's head really easily. So what we realized fairly early on was that singlets like this without too much stretch are pretty useless because it's pretty hard to get over baby's head, especially when they're a newborn. they're really small and fragile and you're just learning how to put clothes on a baby, something like this is useless. And what you want instead is something that's super stretchy, that is going to stretch around their head and their body and just make things easier for you and for the baby. And so these ones are from Bonds. Just make sure whatever singlets or undergarments you get, that they're nice and stretchy around the head. Now the next thing I regret buying is a pram caddy that has to go on the pram with Velcro strips only. And that is because it's just such a pain to have to always attach and reattach your pram caddy with Velcro strips. It's much easier if you get something that clips on, just so that it's just easier to take on and take off. Now the next thing that has become completely useless are the cushions that I got for the cot. And I knew this at the time. I knew that the baby is never going to sleep in the cot with the cushions in there, but I got them anyway because, you know, they're cute and I wanted it for the Instagram photo, etc, etc. So if you're going to do the same, maybe my advice is just don't spend too much on any decorative items, because the reality is you're never going to put those cushions back in once your baby starts sleeping in the cot. So those cushions will just be in the way. So anything decorative that you want in the cot or hanging off the cot or anything, you're probably never going to use again after you take that nice photo. Now on a similar note, I do kind of regret getting the rug that we chose for the nursery. I definitely love the look of it. I'm obsessed with it, but it's just not practical. It's okay for the moment, but once Emmanuel starts crawling around on the floor and hanging out on the floor in the nursery, it's going to be a pain because that rug sheds a lot. So I can just imagine that he'll be grabbing the fur, grabbing whatever's on the rug and just putting it in his mouth. So if you're shopping for a rug for the nursery, try and get something that is not going to shed so much that baby can't just sort of pull at it and take out any like fur or anything. Just think about the practicality of it. Now the next thing I regret buying is small bottles. So that's bottles like this where they just hold 120 ml or 4 ounces. And I don't know why I got this. I guess I thought that maybe I would just use it at the start when he's a newborn. The thing is, you won't be able to continue using these bottles once your baby takes a higher amount of milk. So they're really only usable in the first couple of months, and then you will probably never use them again. So instead, you might as well just get the bigger bottles from the start. It's really no difference. So I would say save your money, don't get a small bottle. And on a similar note, I regret getting the narrow neck bottles. So we use the Dr. Brown's bottles. They're great. The only thing is we started Emmanuel off on the narrow neck bottles, and they actually take quite a long time to dry, especially the bigger sized ones. So if you're kind of experimenting with different bottles, I would definitely start with the wider neck ones or bottles that are just not that narrow, because they do dry quicker. And so if you can get your baby to like a bottle that is going to dry quicker, then that's obviously better for you. It's a bit late for us. We've got all Dr. Brown's narrow neck bottles, so we're just keeping with it. But Emmanuel is usually breastfed anyway, so we don't have to deal with too many bottles at a time. Now that's it for my products I regret buying. Very quick fire, very straight to the point. I hope you guys found it useful. Don't forget to thumbs up and leave a comment down below. I also have heaps of other baby content and a lot more coming, so don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!